All right, so Cull is in game. I've personally decided that I want to go ahead and use Spotlight caches to open for him because I like the other Spotlight variants. Not that. That's terrible. But I wanted to open them. I've got some decks for you in this video that I'm going to play. I want to see what our thoughts are. I'm not going to play the entire deck or show you the thing the entire time because I want to give you my general thoughts and feelings, and I think that's probably what you're most interested in. So I'm going to show you the decks right after we eventually hopefully get Cull. We'll see if it takes all four. Does it take all four? Suspense. It does. Awesome. Wow. So last time I'm doing this, I guess. I wonder what we're going to get on this last one. And then I'll let you know what my initial impressions are of the card. I'll obviously talk about different decks that maybe could be a little bit better, but is this thing worth it? You just saw me spend 4 Spotlight caches to get this. Now I'm down to 9. It feels bad. There's, you know, the card acquisitions in this game are starting to feel worse. They're making it harder for us to know what to do. So you got to be careful, right? All right. So let's look at these decks. First deck we've got up here is the one that I had in the video from the other day that I personally made up. Call me some 4s and 1s. Again, leans heavily into the 4s, got some 1s, some things to potentially protect, get cheaper, etc. Next one up, we're just calling Cull food. Basically, it's a Cull Obsidian Thanos type list with a lot of the other cards that you're used to. And it's just more stuff for Blob to potentially get, or maybe to cycle in through Lockjaw. You could obviously change some things around. Maybe you don't like Leech, maybe you don't like Vision. You could go with Scar or something along those lines. That's up to you. We've got one that we're going to give credit to Safetyblade for. Actually, 2 we're going to give credit to Safetyblade. We're going to show this in a second, but they've got a new event in game. And I do want to say about these new events, this one's a Valentine's Day themed. I actually really like this. I think whoever came up with this is genius. They've been using OTAs, in my opinion, for balance, yeah, but also to try to make the meta a little bit more fresh. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like it. I think that it's just, you know, I make the cards balanced and then find other ways to have some fun and change up the meta a little bit. Like an event like this. I think it's perfect. I'd love if they were able to do this at least twice a month. I think that'd be fine. And then just use the OTAs to properly balance things. Don't do it to necessarily freshen something up. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But the thing that's nice about this is Sera, Angela both get some additional points. And then this is sort of a list where you're playing around with Miss Marvel. You've got Zabu to get these Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, Cull cheaper. Then you've got Sera. You got Black Swan to potentially get these cheaper, and Bishop to feed off of those. And then last but not least, we've got Cull by Night. I talked about this one in the video the other day. I really liked this one from a bounce perspective. I'm not a huge bounce player per se, but I liked the thought of this and getting your werewolf to bounce around a lot, getting Zabu out there to get that cheaper, and then obviously having some tech with Shang-Chi, and then your Hitmonkey late with all of those ones free. Pretty sick. All right, now let's check out the details on this event real quick. All right, so they've got a Valentine's Day week event. This starts already by the time you're seeing this video, and there's obviously going to be a lasting stay of what, 7 days? All right, fine. So it's a whole week. The concept here is cards are paired together and they get more points. Well, how do they get more points and what cards are they? Basically, there's a description here about how that happens. There's one pairing, Daredevil and She-Hulk. When Daredevil gets played, the She-Hulk gets the power boost. When the She-Hulk gets played, the Daredevil gets the power boost. So once they're in play is when the other card gets the power boost. But for Daredevil to get the power boost, She-Hulk actually has to be in play. The pairings we have, Angela and Sera. We talked about that with one of our decks, +1 power for each of them. Black Panther and Nakia, +1 for each of them. Captain America and Agent 13, +2 power for each of them. Gambit and Rogue, +2 power for each of them. Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic, +2 for each of them. Iron Man and Rescue, +1 power. Miles Morales and Ghost Spider, that is a +1 power. She-Hulk and Daredevil is a +2 power. Star-Lord and Gamora, +1 power. Vision and Scarlet Witch, +1 power. I think the ones you're likely to see are the Angie, the Seras, maybe Black Panther and Nakia's. Man, the rest of us, She-Hulk, Daredevil, maybe. Star-Lord, Gamora, probably not. Vision and Scarlet Witch, possibly, but the RNG. So that's what we got. Now let's get to the gameplay. All right, so the setup so far, we got a Pegasus base on, I think it was the second one, allowed me to play Khazar, Zabu, and Titania. They played multiple man and Legion. And then we had to skip, since he Legioned the Collapse Mine, he or she, then we skipped the next turn. And this turn, I'm forging into my Super Giant, throwing over Titania with the intent to potentially crossbones a lane. And Black Swan is not going to really come into play here. All right, so we get a Hercules on their end. So the only place I can play this is right. We'll play that. All right, now I get Cull. And so I can play 2 of these. They have Prio though. The question is are they going to play stuff over here, right? They've got priority, so that would play and drop that over. If I play something there, it would throw it back. So I think, oh, well, I guess the Cull is the only thing I can really do there because I have to have a 1. And then the only, I mean, at this point, then it's just all about getting the power, right? So let's do this mid. We won't snap, but we're going to go roll with it. I feel like my play right. Ooh, interesting. Heimdall, okay. That means... All right, so that, yeah, I get that back, so that's huge. So I win left, and I win mid. And, well, let's see. There should be no way they can win this, right? Yeah, yep, rip. All right, well, Cull helps for sure. There's no doubt about that. Victory. All right, so up to this point, I've zeroed my Titania. They played their Nebula there at the same time I played zero. My Titania, we had Wakanda Embassy give some extra points. They've decided to storm that lane. I could certainly Cull or Crossbones there. I think I'm gonna Crossbones just because, I mean, that could get more. It's not snap worthy, but I think maybe, okay, they still did go there. Oh, we both called. Interesting. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to win right. Let's do this and this. And then next turn, we can at least play Forge. All right, so we've got some free, they got the vision, so they can move the vision right. Oh, this is so interesting. All right, so we've got, all right, so now, okay, I'm glad that that does that. And then let's do this and I think this. And this might be snap worthy, to be honest with you. I mean, that's a lot of points all over the place. I could potentially tie right with Martyr, but I don't think it'll go there. It's a lot of points left. You know, half torn to put there, but I think that's the right play. We're gonna leave it. They move the vision, play 2 more cards. Let's see, we get our Cull, our extra 2 points, so that's 15 left. All right, so they obviously got that. They'll get 5, 8, 2. It's not enough. And I should win mid. Perfect. So the point... Oh, wait. What does Martyr do? Okay, I was like, she's mathing. Martyr was mathing, and she couldn't find a way to lose, so she stayed. All right, so the way this one played out, they played a leech late with 5. Fine by me. It would have been nice for the Magneto, but basically got a bunch of 1s. I can get the Iron Lad pulled into a Blob, so it's a nice big Iron Lad, but they might have a Shang, and then I just dropped 1 more card left on Morag. So the plays I can make are pretty solid. The question's going to be, can they play in all 3 locations to be able to pull off the win, or do they have like a Killmonger or something like that? That, of course, wouldn't hurt me, but the Shang-Chi would. So they moved the Kyera, but with the lead that I have in Mojo World, it was enough. And they snapped, so yay me. So they just snapped so far. They've played things into Nor. I have not. This Iron Lad just hit the Lockjaw. I'm going to play Jeff on Nor and go and see if I can fill up right. I'm going to let the snap go. And then next turn, move it there with the Jin. And then let the Jin sort of cycle through. Well, they get a little bit more strong Jin, which is fine by me. And then my hope is that Jin cycles through something decent in the mid. So we'll go like this, we'll go like that. And actually, we won't even have to move the Jeff this way, which is even better. Everybody gets their free card. I get a Hulk, but they've got a Mobius, so I don't get that for free, which is really unfortunate. To me, it's all going to be about what my what my lockjaw brings to the table here. It's got to be something solid, hopefully. Thanos, not bad. All right, so I win mid. And I can take that off. So the question is, can I still find a way to win? I've got a ton of stones still to cycle through that it gets a little bit difficult. So I can take 8 off of here. Question is where do I want to put the rest? And I could just straight up play the Hulk and that, and then I don't know, maybe I get lucky with no man's or bar none, whatever. The least points wins. They've snapped. I think I'm still going to go for this. I mean, that's 20. I'm adding 21 points minus whatever they drop there. I'm clearly going to win mid. That's 18 there. I don't think they've got a way to do any of that mid. Add points there. So I'm going to snap and we're going to go forward and see what they've got and see what their free card is. Is it going to be higher than what I've got left? Onslaught. Okay. Loki. I think I've got that, if I'm not mistaken. Yipper skippers. Nice little 8 cube win there, right? Right? My math all good? Pretty sure it is. Yep. We solid, boo. We solid. All right, well, the blob food one, it's, you know, this deck is good either way. So, yeah, I think there's... Cull, while we didn't have gameplay there, he adds points. It's fine. You get the idea there. This deck I find very interesting. It's the Angie, Sera plus the love event that's going on. So we're going to see if we can get some extra points there and see what we can get. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, Magneto. All right, so we take out the Magneto. This was a really weird location thing, and I win. Cull Obsidian came through. I will say he came through, and I played Shang and Cull with the Zabu, so this is a great deck to show. Like, this is a pretty good card. All right, so at this point, we played Angela before we knew Shuri's Lab was right. We're going to change Luke's bar just so we can start playing there. And then, interesting that they did that. Okay, I can still Shang that, which will be kind of nice. I'll change that location, which becomes Wakanda. What we want to do here is we want to play our Shang on the crossbones, but we'll save that for next turn, I think. You know what we want to do? We want to make sure that we can play as many cards as possible next turn. But that means I will not be able to... Best I could do here then is that, and then get all my ones for free. We'll do that. As much as I would have liked to play Kitty and Forge, it just didn't make sense at that point. So we bring Nico back for free as well. Hopefully we get a decent tick on that. They're doing similar with the Black Swan. They've got the Cull left, so now I have an options here of what to do. All right. So I think we Shang right. We here, that way we're adding 5, 6, 7 left. So that should put us up by 1 left. And we'll just play the rest mid. That's a pretty solid play, to be honest with you. I'm going to snap. They might counter snap, but the ability to play that Black Swan, no Cull in this play, but hopefully this shows the flexibility of the deck. Ooh, Khazar. Okay. Time Stone. So we're looking at mid and right now. All right, so we get right. We're not going to be able to pull off left, I do not believe. Yeah, it's 1 short. There we go. There we go. Tight one, but again, the flexibility in the deck is there. Last but not least, Cull by Night. We'll see if we can get some things bouncing around. All right, so funky locations. I wish I could. I really need my beast next turn. I'm throwing an Iceman right just in case I can maybe play my Cull over there. They'll be able to win mid with that Nightcrawler, unfortunately. One good reason to have that in your ones deck. All right, we can play Cull. Everything came a little late on this one, so not sure this is going to be all that exciting. We're missing some pretty critical things here. No Zabu, no Beast, no Black Swan, and a bad location for us. JJ left. okay. I mean, my best play is this. Sadly, that's my best play. I mean, I could move Cull left, but I don't think they're gonna play there, so we're just gonna let the thing roll. And do they have more than... Well, that was what it was. The lack of being able to play some low cards early was sort of a troubling. Now we're getting cards that we like, so we want to set things up to be able to get things for free. Ideally, we'll get one more. We'll draw one here. Would be just amazing. Ooh, that's even nicer. To be honest with you. Now we can play our werewolf, JK, because it's turn 3. They can play something this turn. I cannot. Oh no, they can't either. That was mental. What are they doing? All right, we'll go over here and do this for now. All right, we're just going to drop our werewolf in, and now we're going to start. Turn 5 is going to be all about Black Swan. It's too bad I can't Beast and Black Swan on turn 5. I mean, I could, but I don't have any ones out. I mean, I can, basically what I'll do is I'll Black Swan left and Beast mid just to get the werewolf moving around. Interesting. What are they? All right, so they sacrifice the Space Stone, which makes sense. At this point, I'm going to snap because they're playing lots of Snowns. So what we're going to do is we are going to this, and then next turn, this is like the setup for this deck, is we've got almost all of our ones and we've got Hitmonkey in hand. And so unless they play a Mobius, I should be solid here. Okay, they play Devil Dino. Now we get our free ones. Werewolf jump around. What do we say? We're going to keep it too? Nice. All right, so there's our Zabu. So what do we want to do here? So that's an ongoing. So let's do that. Let's do that. We actually want to end with werewolf on the right. So let's here. We've snapped. That allows our werewolf to move. You know what? We can do that. Potentially get mid again. So that's 6-7 versus just 3. All right, that's how we're rolling it. They retreated. Oh, all that math for nothing. I probably could have maybe had Hitmonkey be different than where werewolf was, but either way, that shows the potential of what's happened. So like I mentioned at the front end, I just wanted to show some highlights to be able to give you my first impressions. With some calls, I played a bunch more games than what I put in the highlights, but enough to get highlights, obviously, and then to get a feel. So the Call Me Some 4s and 1s, it's like I mentioned in my video, it needs some tech. I think it's a decent card. I think Cull in this deck is a lot of fun, but I would find ways to maybe take out maybe the 0 Ebony Maw Martyr thing. It's maybe a little bit too greedy along with Khazar. You need some tech in it. Next deck, we had Blob Food. Yeah, he's another big card. I think this deck's good regardless. Does Cull make it better? I don't know. I mean, it's just one more big card there. Angie, Sera. Now, this is the twofold here. The Angie, Sera thing is okay. I do think for events like this, if they want to make them a little bit more jazzier, that it maybe make the points worth a little more. I'd have to say that 1 and 2 points doesn't feel that exciting. I think I had it happen just a handful of times, and I don't think in any of the games it made a significant impact. Now, Cull here, though, I do love. And the thing that I mentioned, I don't know if I ended up putting in the video or not, but there is a great trick with Cull and Kitty. They're a great pairing. So especially when you've got a Black Swan set up there, is you can play your Kitty for free on turn 4 and then trick Cull into still playing on that lane and your Kitty comes back. So you play Cull and you don't have a 1 there later. So that's kind of nice to be able to get your Cull on board. I think generally speaking, this is pretty solid. And then the last one we had was Call by Night, which has some big potential. It's very similar to the other one as far as bouncing around, moving things around. I like this a lot. You can use different ones if you so desire. I like the Shang-Chi tech, especially with Zabu. You certainly can go the Enchantress route if you want. You're not super stressed about ongoing here. I don't. There's Zabu, but by the time you play your Enchantress on that, probably not worried about it. So generally speaking, I do think Cull is a pretty solid card. My first impression. I wouldn't change anything about it right now. You know, maybe 411, maybe. maybe, I'm not sure, but my initial gut is they've released it at a pretty solid spot, and I wouldn't anticipate any, definitely no nerfs. I don't think it's overly strong. Maybe a little bit of buffs, but it would be minimal, and I'm not even willing to, as sort of forger, say that that's absolutely needed. So I think in general, like I said, Cull, pretty good. I think the decks you're going to want to be looking at is probably the ones that you're already really liking, but he's pretty solid. I'm happy with, using the spotlights. I am not happy with 4 of those. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I wanted to try to make a semi-short video. We'll see if it ends up being that. Obviously, with gameplay highlights, they can be a little bit longer, but thank you for the support as always. And until next time, we hope you have a wonderful day.